Hey, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know, if you want a really good laugh, check out my new novel, The Comatose Adventures of Lenny Rose. It's available now at Amazon.com, or there's a link on the Boomer Alley homepage. And now, here's this week's video.
And now, a Boomer Alley video.
I was watching Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago, and I found myself actually getting angry. Andy was making no sense. He was just rambling. I mean, he started out pointing out that February is spelled February and not February like everybody says. Pretty insightful, Andy. Gee, no one's seen that spelling irony before. And then he said how he doesn't really like February or January. They're too cold. And Andy also doesn't really like July or August, because those months, well, those of you who are familiar with the porridge passage in Goldilocks and the Three Bears, you may have guessed why Andy doesn't like the summer months. Here's a hint. April and May, just right. Then, out of nowhere, Andy wondered whether people on the West Coast wear as many clothes as people on the East Coast. Then he told us that he wears the same suit all year long. Okay. If this wasn't Andy Rooney, if this was one of our elderly parents, we'd be breaking out the assisted living brochures that we keep hidden in the sock drawer. You know, Andy, it's time for us to go for a little car ride. You're going to go meet some new friends. But then I started thinking, Andy Rooney's been doing his 60-minute thing for like 150 years. And so he had a bad week. Maybe he had trouble coming up with a good idea. Some weeks I have trouble coming up ideas for this. And so I thought, you know, instead of shipping old Andy off to Shady Pines, and instead of being angry, maybe I should just give him some slack. That's something we don't seem to do much anymore, give people slack. We expect people to be perfect, instantly. And when they're not, we get angry. We're outraged. And I'm not sure when this happened that people started to think, well, I'm pretty close to perfect, and I've got great ideas on how to fix the economy and the healthcare system and the environment. Why can't those stupid politicians, the ones that don't agree completely with me, why can't they have better ideas? Well, maybe if we gave them a little slack and didn't expect them to be perfect and right on message the instant they open their mouths, well, maybe they'd have better ideas, and we'd all be happier. I mean, I don't think Obama was in office for a day before Rush Limbaugh started giving him grief. What do you say, Rush? How about a little slack? And by the same token, I guess I should give Rush a little slack. I mean, can you imagine what it must be like to have to be as angry as he has to be every day? And Rush is a big boy. This can't be good for his blood pressure. You know, I think he'd be happier and healthier if he gave the Democrats a little slack. And then it would be easier for us to give him a little slack. You know, I find I get angry every time they trot out Joe the plumber. But he's just doing the best he can, being one of the rising stars and one of the new bright thinkers of the conservative movement. How do you think that makes them feel? We should give them a little slack. That's the thing, boomers. If you find yourself being angry at a person or a pet or anything, give it a little slack. You'll feel better. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. I'm Mark at BoomerAlley.com.
It's Boomer Alley, love.